Modern women don't hate men. You give women too much credit. Hate assumes depth. As a man, your brain is wired to recognize patterns and to ascribe meaning to things. You need to cut that out. Stop looking for substance. Stop projecting. By the end of this video, you'll see women's hateful behavior for what it truly is. A performance.
Here are some more of my favorite ways to rage bait men, because it's so easy. I will never in my entire life understand why men, it doesn't click for them that I'm trolling you, I'm messing with you, I'm not talking to you for interesting conversation, you're my entertainment. Tell them that your favorite t-shirt brand is Nirvana. I can literally hear it right now. That's not a clothing brand, that's a band. If they ever try and start a conversation with you or come up to you, just be like, oh, I'm sorry, I only date for money. Okay, next one is like the most easy rage bait you could do to them. Literally has never failed me. But if they ever pull out like text messages or like picture proof of anything, they're like, see that? All you have to do is say, AI. That's AI. That's artificial intelligence. That's AI. That is AI. And they're like, what are you talking? That's not like, that's not AI. AI. That's AI.
You want to know the mistake that most men make? It's that when a woman is being awful and treating a man terribly, he assumes that it's personal, that there is genuine resentment in it. They assume that the woman has some trauma or some unresolved anger against men. What you need to understand is that even if you, as the man, are the recipient of her hateful behavior, you are not the target audience. It's sad to say, but when a woman is cruel to a man, it's often just a signal to other women. As a man, you're just a tool in the process, a prop as part of her theater. Why would you take that seriously? She doesn't. Do not make the mistake of assuming that her awful attitude is actually coming from a place of moral gravity or righteous anger. Often, it's just social mimicry. She may be saying words and acting out a pattern that she doesn't even understand. She doesn't comprehend the significance of what she's saying. She's just moving with the herd. She has noticed what gets other women popular, what gets praised, what leads to more social acceptance and influence. And now you have an entire generation of young women who think that it is fashionable to hate on men, not because they truly believe it, but because it is an effective strategy at increasing your own personal clout. You've probably wondered why so many of the criticisms leveled against men make no rational sense. There's no consistency. It seems theatrical. It's a performance. They're not even thinking about men. The true audience is other women. Perhaps it's time to stop taking women so seriously and recognize that this isn't a vendetta. Women are just playing a social game, and hating on men is a convenient way to climb the ladder. Most of you guys watching, you have a basic awareness of what this looks like on the bottom rung, and you might assume this explains most of women's behavior. It's just a trauma response. She's acting terribly because at some point in her life, she was a victim, and now she wants to be the one who's powerful, the one who's in control. She wants to be the perpetrator. Maybe this is how you explain feminism. The patriarchy ruled over us, but now we're on top and we're going to make men pay. It's a comforting story that a lot of men want to buy into because on some level, it makes emotional sense, and it also turns it into a problem that has a solution. She doesn't hate men. She's not really cruel. She's just been hurt. This is a temporary overcorrection. We can fix that. If only it were that simple. If only women's behavior was truly that logical, then it would be quite easy to find a way out of this mess. But you know what? Even if a lot of women start at this bottom rung, once they get a taste, a rush, a feeling of power, of clout, they don't stop there. The temptation is too great. They keep on climbing this ladder. Eventually, it becomes a complete race to the bottom. I'm going to explain all of that, but first, very quickly, I want to thank you for all of the well wishes for my birthday month. I turned 38 in October, and to celebrate, I've been offering a 38% discount on my Patreon. Signing up gives you early access to all of the full-length versions of my videos. Click on the link, check out my Patreon, and see what's on offer. It's never been better value. Okay, back to the video.
Hey, so can men stop killing? Like, can you guys get your fucking shit together? What the go to therapy. Every day it's a new tragedy, and guess who did it? A fucking man. Ugh. I'm so fucking, oh my God, get your shit together, you insecure pieces of shit.
You don't need to take this seriously. It's not personal. This is just about clout. What you're seeing here is rung 2 of the ladder, moralized cruelty. At this level, there's a lot of condescension and superiority, but there's at least a token effort of dressing it up as though it's coming from a place of compassion or wanting men to improve, like, men, get it together, go and seek therapy. But obviously, she's not speaking to men, she's speaking to other women. It's a performance. She's signaling to other women, I know how to talk to men, I know how to hold standards and call them on their shit, tell them to do better. She may adopt a sort of moralistic or justice-driven tone, use a lot of therapy buzzwords. It's all carefully designed to maximize her clout with other women. Look how morally superior us women are. Look how righteous I am when I'm putting men in their place. It's a powerful signal, and it's one that will earn her a lot of praise from other women. Look at me, I'm the kind of woman who sees through men. I'm strong enough to tell them what they need to be told. But you must see through the facade of compassion. She's not motivated by a genuine desire to help men. She's just decorating her misandry to make it appear as though she's being socially responsible. It's just carefully branded cruelty.
If there's one thing I've learned in my 23 years of age now, is that I've never regretted being too mean to a man. I've only regretted being too nice. Interpret that as you wish.
Has anyone else seen this I'm always a little mean to men thing? It's like, I'm always a little mean to men because if you treat them like they're human, they'll want to sleep with you. It's so creative. It's basically everyone just posting their own thirst traps with the exact same caption every time. And the thing with this trend in particular is that many people don't actually mean it. They're just trying to subtly call themselves hot and desirable while getting in a little bit of a dig at men.
And this brings us to the third rung of the ladder, where women use cruelty as social currency. At this stage, all pretenses are dropped. There's no attempt to sell yourself as coming from a place of compassion. To gain clout at this stage, it's about being explicitly cruel to men and then publicly advertising it so that other women can applaud you. It's a very effective strategy for clout because on a social level, it reinforces that message that women love to hear, that they are superior to men, but it also signals in a twisted way that you as an individual woman have somehow evolved beyond the need to be kind to men. These kind of statements from women, they function as a sort of badge of insider status for other women to see. This isn't just an accident. I'm mean to men on purpose. I'm smart. I get it. I'm not one of those naive girls who still believes in kindness. The echo chamber that exists at this rung of the ladder is extremely dangerous because here, cruelty to men is not just tolerated, it is encouraged. Men are not human, they are punchlines. And it's fun to tell jokes at their expense. And again, let me make it absolutely clear, I am not saying that women understand the significance of what they're doing. It's mostly just mimicry, women noticing what other women are doing, what gets them popularity, and then just following the crowd. The vibe is that if you're one of these women who's just always casually cruel to men, like mean to them, that makes you cool. I don't even wait for a man to do something bad to me. I'm just preemptively a bitch. Now, in your mind, on an individual basis, that might sound incredibly unjust, but it's operating kind of like a social movement which has a specific goal, which is to normalize this kind of treatment of men. And so these women are like social warriors fighting for justice, and they get celebrated and applauded for doing more for the cause. But of course, in the quest for clout, women can always sink even lower.
I laugh every single time I see anything about the male loneliness epidemic.
I don't care about the male loneliness epidemic. You have got yourself there, you can get yourself out of it.
There is no male loneliness epidemic. It is a loser epidemic.
Since we're all collectively deciding to no longer be endlessly empathetic, we can maybe put all the men who complain about the loneliness epidemic in the insane asylum. Oh no, it's the consequences of your own actions.
The male loneliness epidemic is hilarious because the cure is to not be an unlikable piece of shit. The keys are in your pocket, buddy.
And this is the final stage of one-downsmanship. This is the race to feel absolutely nothing. That is what you find at the top of the clout ladder. Not women who get angry at men or women who laugh at men, women who just feel Nothing. There's nothing cooler than being a woman who doesn't care at all about male loneliness. These women are praised as though they have done some kind of permanent mic drop. There's no anger, there's no debate, it's just total indifference. Compassion is now cringe. What used to be treated as a feminine strength, empathy, nurturing, now that's embarrassing. If you want to be cool as a woman, you don't care about men who are suffering. Nobody reaches the top of this pyramid by treating men as though they're humans. And you understand, it did not start here. When I said that women are playing a social game, they are competing with each other for status and clout, I really meant that. Like they're each trying to outdo each other. It might have started with like, oh, men are hopeless, let's have a bit of an eye roll and a bit of a joke about it. But when women noticed how popular it made them by complaining about men, they very quickly went to outdo each other, and it just went further and further. And now for some of these women, they are so desperate for the praise, the social points that they will score, that they have reached the psychological dead end, the inevitable consequence of their own misdirected actions, where what is cool as a woman is a complete rejection of their own femininity and being completely emotionless. I feel nothing for men. How cool am I? Women who usually take pride in their emotional capacity, now in a contest with each other to see who can feel the least. You have to wonder if they appreciate the irony of spending decades complaining about men being emotionally cold and distant and switched off. And now the most vocal critics of men are doing everything they can to themselves embody the worst traits of masculinity that they complained about. I'm going to restate what I said at the beginning of this video. I think it would be wise for men to stop taking women so seriously. This isn't personal. The widespread misandry that we are seeing is not a movement of depth or intellectual sophistication. It's not based on any consistent principles of justice. It's more like a hashtag, like a social media trend that's gone viral. It's a social contagion that has very sadly, taken root in the minds of many young women. And I understand that it's doing real damage in people's lives as it infects women's behavior and their mindset, and it turns what would be ordinarily healthy relationships into a battleground for this nonsense culture war. But I think taking women too seriously in this situation assigns a gravity to their perspective which is just not warranted. If you speak to women about their views, actually go into depth, try and get them to explain the underlying principles that guide their statements, you'll realize there are none. There is no deep ideology behind all of this. Many of them do not understand the words they are saying or the actual significance of their behavior. What they know and what they feel and what's important to them is that other women approve. And belonging to the group is really important for women. But what will be interesting to observe over the coming years and decades is how far are women willing to take this? How important is it for you to gain the approval of your female peers? What are you willing to sacrifice? Do you really want to spend your life hating men? Do you want to define yourself in opposition to the other gender? Are you willing to forego marriage, forego children? Is the approval of other women really that fulfilling? And isn't there a part of you deep down that knows that this is just a performance and is scared about what you're potentially missing out on?
My best friend, without a doubt, is my husband. When I have free time, I want to hang out with him. If I want to go to a party or go on a trip, I want to go with him. And to each their own, but it's worked for us.
Yeah.
We work hard and we work during the day and we grind as parents and we are a team. But then when we have that free time, I want to go party with my husband. I want to go get drunk with my husband. Right. I want to go have crazy shower sex with my husband. And that's how you get pregnant, ladies and gentlemen.
God.
I wanted to play this clip to remind women that the clout chasing ladder game is a dead end. There is no deep fulfillment to be found in the approval of your sisters. especially when it's based on hatred. If you want to be happy, find a man who's your best friend, marry him, have children. Enjoy the beautiful masculine feminine polarity that actually makes relationships exciting and fulfilling. This social game that you've been playing, this race for status, it's hollow. It is not an expression of power. There are far healthier ways for women to experience their feminine power, and that's what I want to spend the rest of this video talking about. It is through connection and intimacy that women will find true fulfillment. Do not for a minute think that femininity is weak. It is extremely powerful. It's sad that women have forgotten that, but I'm going to spend the rest of this video reminding them. If you'd like to keep watching, then the video continues on Patreon. That's where I post the full-length versions of all of my videos. What you see here on YouTube, these are just the shortened, abridged versions. If you would like access to the full-length versions, please come and join me on Patreon, and don't forget to take advantage of the 38% discount for October.